OMG. Welcome, welcome, welcome to this season of Thriving in Purpose. And we have an amazing, amazing heart sister who is here on today. Her name is Dr. Charity C. Campbell. And if you don't know her, I want you to get to know her and get excited about all the things that she is doing for the kingdom. Here at Finding Your Heart, you know our vision is to see that every woman is living out their God given purpose, righteously obeying the Lord. And we're here to help women please God through dating in their purity and making sure they're living in purpose. So I had to get her to come up here because she is absolutely phenomenal. I just literally called her the international leadership guru. She is a teacher of all teachers, a prayer warrior, and I'm so excited for her to come up and let you know all the things, well, not everything, but at least be able to share some things with you on today on how she has been able to thrive in purpose in the midst of everything that she has experienced in her life. So please put in the chat some hearts, some love as we welcome Dr. Charity C.
Praise
Campbell.
the Lord, everybody.
I could have gone into an even more deeper introduction on how we met and all these beautiful things. But thank
Yes,
you for
we
being
are
here.
decades in. We are decades in this thing. Oh my God, it's such an honor to be here with First Lady. It is such a blessing to be here. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, you all, believe it or not, she is coming to us literally from the Philippines right
Yeah.
now. And she has been in China, she has been all over the world teaching, preaching, praying. And, I guess my first question to you is what made you, or what was that moment when you decided to literally thrive in what God had given you?
Oh wow. Okay. So this question I was not expecting,
Oh,
and the
oh,
answer.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, this is good because the answer is perfect for this podcast. So I was in a long-term relationship that I really thought was going to end in marriage. This was back in 2015 when I was 2015, 2016, specifically 2016 when I was getting ready to defend my doctoral dissertation and graduate. And I just knew that the next step was marriage. I'm like, here's this man. I've been with him for 2.5 years. We struggling a little bit, but he wants me to. I know he wants me to be his wife. We're gonna move forward in that direction. And it wasn't moving in that direction. Sis, it was not moving in that direction. And I remember asking God, do I hold on to him or do I go and explore me? Do I go discover myself? Because who I am today, she's not who I'm envisioning. Like she's not who I believe that you're calling me to be. And if I stay with this person, will I grow? If I stay with this person, yeah, I'll be married at some point, but would I actually grow? What will I be fulfilled in life? Because it's a difference. And so, long story short, ended it, graduated, uh went through the whole emotional roller coaster, as we do, went through this whole emotional roller coaster, fell into a deep, deep depression because after graduation, you would think that like opportunities would just open up, doors would open up. And there was one closed door after the other, one closed door after the other. And I remember when I tell you I fell into a deep, deep depression, my mom, and this is why we are blessed and fortunate to have praying moms. Okay, my mom felt me in her spirit. I still get goosebumps to this day when I think about it. My mom felt me in her spirit, and she called me praying in tongues, saying, I just finished anointing your photos. She said, your photo right now is oily. It is covered in oil because I see the enemy trying to take you out. And I see that there's just, I know, right? I know, chill. She said, I see that. And when I tell you, I broke down even more. I'm just boohooing on the phone. And I'm just like, why is this happening to me? Like, I said yes to God. I never wanted to go back to school. Like I never wanted to do it. I said yes to God. I thought I would be married. Like I'm feeling like I'm not, valuable. All of these things that the enemy comes and lies to us, says all of these things. And so God started little by little showing me clues to what to do next. So the job that I wanted at an HBCU in Greensboro, I won't say the name, but an HBCU in Greensboro, North Carolina, fell through. And I had no money, y'all. I had no money. I was like, God, I don't know what to do. What do I do? And then there was this. I was at a business fair because I'm like, I'm gonna give this entrepreneurial thing a real shot this time. And I was there, and I met this man who was like a recruiter for teachers teaching English. Okay, teaching English at GTCC, a local community college. And I'm like, I don't want to teach at a community college. And then on the other side, I was like, you broke. I'll take that job. Sure. And so I ended up being in the classroom. This is how prophetic the whole thing was. I ended up being in the classroom with immigrants and refugees who I still hold dear to my heart to this day, professionals, older men and women from over 22 different countries in my class. 22 different countries. And each of them, we developed such a relationship because for me, if I'm going to come into a classroom, if I'm going to come to work, I'm giving you my best self. I don't care how I feel. I'm going to give you what you deserve. And I did that. And I saw how like God used that to show them like his love, And so I remember on Valentine's Day, as a single woman on Valentine's Day, because usually the enemy would try to attack me and hit me at that time. I remember they showered me with so many gifts. My students, okay? These immigrants and refugees showered me with so many gifts on Valentine's Day. And I said, you know what? I want to do a special video of us saying Happy Valentine's Day in every language. We had over 18 languages in the class saying Happy Valentine's Day. And we did it as a Facebook Live. And I said, and I remember saying, so no matter what your language, what your country you're coming from, we are showing you love on today. And that was part of the healing process for me. And then I knew like I just, having the anointing of the sons of Issachar, knowing being able to discern the times and season, I'm telling you, I felt in my spirit that it was time for me to leave America. It had been 12 years. The last time I had left America was 2005 when I went to study abroad in Mexico. From that whole time, I kept wanting to leave the States, but God didn't let me because he needed to foster maturity in me and to help me to grow and to become the woman that he wanted me to be before. So here it is 12 years later. And I'm like, God, I feel like it's time. God had allowed an exchange teacher from Kenya, who is still my dear brother to this day, from Kenya to come to Greensboro. He was teaching for a year at Bennett College. And one of our mutual sisters in Christ, she introduced us, and I was able to build a connection with him there, and ended up making plans. I said, you know what, at some point I am going to visit you in Kenya. And he said, what scares me is that when you say something, I believe it. He said, when you put your mind to something, he said, I don't know who, like anyone else could tell me that they were going to visit me in Kenya. And I would be like, yeah, sure. He said, but when you say it, I really believe it. I said, because it's going to happen. I don't know when, but it will. And so here I am in this classroom. I'm starting to see, like, I am surrounded by nations. I'm surrounded by representation of nations. And I'm just like, God, you're pulling me closer. Where am I going to go? So I sat down in my class and I told them, I said, I think I'm going to leave America, but I don't know where to go. And their eyes get all big and they're like, well, we're going to miss you, but you need to go. You should really go. I'm just like, okay. So I plan to go backpacking through Europe. I'm like, I think I can do that. Let's just, Black people, we don't backpack like that. So let me just go do I'm Black. We don't really backpack. So let me just go ahead. I can be Doctora the Explorer, which is actually that's actually my travel brand is Doctora the Explorer. I'm like, I can get my backpack, be like Dora and go travel. And I asked them, I said, where should I go? Almost everybody wants me to go to their country, except for the girl in Turkey. She was like, don't, right now is not the best time to come to my I was like, okay. So here I am
I'm
thinking
glad
I had
she
to
was
make
honest.
plans. She was so honest. She was like, don't go to Turkey. Not right now. Not right now. It's especially as a single woman. I said, thank you for that. Mark Turkey off the list. And so, but this was, back in 2017. And so here I'm thinking I have to make the plans. I have to create this itinerary, and they put it together for me. They're like, no, you need to go to this country, go to this country, go to this country. Make sure you check out the food in this country. You got to listen to the music in this country. Everything. They planned out everything for me. And so we connected on WhatsApp. And let's make a long story short. Long story short, I went, had my backpack. I It's funny because I realized that I had actually backpacked through 12 different countries in a span of 6 weeks. And I said, God, for every year that I missed traveling, you gave me a country to visit and to spend significant amount of time. 12 years from 2005 to 2017, I hadn't stepped foot outside of the United States. And here in the span of 6 weeks, God gave me a country for every year that I missed. Not to mention, a few weeks later, so I wrote a book called Letting Adam Sleep. And I actually, I had a book launch when I was in Norway, Oslo, staying in a hostel. Okay. When I tell you I was backpacking, I was doing this whole, and now I have never stayed in another hostel since, because hostels are just not my thing. Okay. Give me an Airbnb and I will be okay. But then I was like, no, I want to get the whole backpacker experience. So here I am with my little tablet, and I am out here selling books, selling my books online. And I have a book signing, Letting Adam Sleep. It's actually what I did. Adam is like, the man. So in the book, it's about how God put Adam to sleep and how he was the one that woke him up. And when God woke Adam up, that's when he was able to see Eve. He was able to actually see her. Like, listen, if your man can't see you right now, baby, let him sleep. Put that thing to sleep. Let him sleep and go live your life. That's what letting okay. That's what it was about for me. And although I didn't have like a specific Adam in mind, I knew that the man that God had for me would be one who could match my prayer life, one who would also, be called to the nations, one who wanted to raise a family, one who wouldn't be afraid of ministry, but who can lead a house. Because, I knew all of those things. So that was my Adam. And for me, letting Adam, the idea of Adam sleep was go live your life, live, love, and let go. And so I did all of that, came back to the States, had a book signing, and then like 2 weeks later, I moved to China because I had one Chinese student in my class. And China is always looking for teachers, especially them. And I said, I don't want to go to China. They don't pay enough money. And I will never forget what my student said. He said, yeah, but Dr. C, it's not about how much money you make in China. It's about how much money you save. The cost of living is so low. So even though they may not pay a lot, you might look like you're really wealthy because the cost of living is so low. I was like, well, you should have told me that from the beginning. Shoot, sign me up. Sign me up. So I went, and I was only supposed to be in China for 1 year. And I ended up being there for 5 years. I just finished leaving. I know, 5 years. Listen, now you're talking about a country where you're going to have some culture shock. China.
Look, but to me, I felt like you were there longer. It seemed to me that you were there. I don't know why. I felt like you've been there for like almost 10. It just seemed like it was longer.
Listen, for some people, they were like, it's been 5 years already. And for others, it's like you've been there a real long time. It just, I don't I don't know what happened. Well, I do know what happened, ladies. I'm be honest with you. I met an American after being there for 7 weeks. I had met an American man. Shout out to the Brothers of Omega Psi Phi fraternity in China. Yes, honey, I met a Q in China.
Okay.
And let me tell you, because he's significantly older than I am. And he's still dear to my heart to this day. But he took on this like protector role. And after being there for 7 weeks and not seeing a face of color, like seeing him for the first time, I was like, cousin. Like literally, that's what I said to him. When I was like, cousin, family. And so so he had been there for 7 years by the time I met him. So he opened up my entire world to meeting other Black people. He took me to, and I actually helped them to really brand their fraternity. They are the only fraternity in China that is recognized as an organization. And I helped them get all of their branding and stuff together. It was just fun. I made so many connections and friends from all over China on account of this one man. Now, even though we didn't work out because our purposes weren't aligned, we didn't work out, that opened up more time for me to be in China. And that opened up the university. That opened up so many other things. And let me tell you something. When God tell you it's time to go, you better be ready, okay? Because if not, he's going to kick you out of where you are and you ain't going to have none of your stuff, okay? Pack up and prepare when he tell you it's time to go. Because if not, you can be like, oh, I want to take this, I want to take that. And you ain't going to have the time to get it. So
too late.
It's going to be too late. So I knew, especially this year, I prayed and fasted for 21 days. And I asked God, what was next? What was next? Because I was actually praying and fasting for a conference, my very first conference that I was putting on called Mamas and Mentors. And it turned out to be an international conference. Absolutely insane. I know, absolutely insane. I know. And it turned out to be an international conference. And God literally said, okay, it's time for you to go. I was like, yeah, when my visa expires in January 2023. He was like, it's time for you to go. When my visa, Lord, my visa. I mean, I just got this really nice apartment. I got my whole studio set up. It's really nice. Like, this is a blessing. I'm not going to leave my blessing. He was like, you told me in 2021 that you were going to give me a year of yes. Shonda Rhimes wrote her Year of Yes book. And I was like, well, if Shonda Rhimes can do it, and I'm a kingdom woman, I'm a praying woman, clearly, I can do it too. So I said, all right, God, 2022 is going to be my year of yes. Y'all better be careful when y'all tell God yes, because he be having stuff all up his sleeves and he be like, oh, really? Okay, here we go. Let's see if you're going to say yes to this. So he showed me the Philippines through a young lady who reached out to me on Facebook who was asking if I needed an assistant. Because I was already praying like, God, where do you want to send me? Listen, First Lady, when I tell you I am not lying about this thing, when I still think about all this stuff, I'm like, God be writing some epic stories, okay? I was searching because I knew I wasn't done with Asia yet. I was searching for where to go. I said, Lord, where am I going to go? I want to go to Singapore because, Joseph Prince. I know it's a whole lot of churches over there. I can get my good feel of Jesus over there. Joseph Prince, but Singapore is too expensive. I said I can go to South Korea. South Korea right now, their youth are in a crisis in terms of identifying with Christianity. I could go, I could be serving there. And South Korea wasn't it. Definitely wasn't going to continue staying in China, even though my Christian community there was really good and strong. And this lady reached out to me. She said, do you need an assistant? And I did, but I didn't have the funds to pay her. And so at the end of the interview, I said, sweetheart, I hope I don't offend you when I say this. I said, but I am a praying woman. I'm a Christian. And I'm going to pray that God will send the funds my way so that I can work with you. And she said, oh, don't worry. I'm a Christian too. I said, what country are you in? She said, I'm in the Philippines. I said, really? She said, yeah, we have churches and stuff all around here. We pray and things. So I was like, huh. So here I am, the researcher. I started checking out. I'm like, Philippines. Let me check. And it was like, when I looked it up, it was like, that was the confirmation. It was like, go to the Philippines. I said, oh, okay. Which city? Because I don't want to go to Manila. And he literally showed me exactly where to go. And I started making preparations. I was like, I don't know specifically when I'm going to go. And in June 20th, I left China, went to Singapore for a day, came to the Philippines. And every transition, I feel like I'm talking a lot. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
It's okay. You're telling your story. You're telling your story. And I believe somebody's being blessed by it. You're fine.
Sisters, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. But I promise I'm going to wrap this up. Okay. I'm so sorry. But I have to say this, every transition has some trauma attached to it.
Wow.
I have, and it's not saying that the transition, because the reason why the trauma comes to hit you and test your resolve, to see if you really want what's on the other side of trauma, to see if you really want what's on the other side of transition. And so many times, we think, well, we're just going to go from one extreme to the other. The change is going to be here. Here's the promise. And God is like, no, you got to work the middle. Evangelist Aaliyah, bless her heart, rest her soul. Evangelist Aaliyah said, you got to work the middle. Then she said, rock the boat and work the middle. Okay. Well, and that's a lot of the times we are in this life situation, this boat where storms are hitting us so much and the boat is rocking. And we just like the disciples where we crying and be like, Jesus, save us. You brought us out here to die. And Jesus over there chilling. He's sleeping. He's like, y'all going to disturb my sleep because the boat is rocking? Huh? You're going to disturb my sleep right now because we're going through a little transition? And what I can say, even now, like I've been through so many transitions in my life, but even now in this transition, I wouldn't change saying yes for anything. God has blessed me to travel to 27 different countries so far. He has blessed me to, I am a doctor of management, but it's a focus of global leadership. So I have met executives. I work with executives from HP in China. I have met executives and continue to work with other institutional administrators from all over the world. And it's not anything. The only thing I did was say yes and move. I didn't say yes and stay stuck. I didn't say yes and be like, once I got a man. Because let me tell you something, society will make you feel like you are not successful if you're not married, if you're not having children yet, if you are not. And one of the biggest things is comparing where you are to where someone else is. You don't know what they went through to get. Nobody has it easy. Okay. Even if they tell you they do, it's because they're holding back the trauma, because sometimes that trauma, thinking about the trauma, will trigger more trauma. Don't compare where you are in life right now to where someone else is. Someone else could be just having, just getting married, but you don't know for the past 5 years that they've been single. They've been pouring their heart out to God because they couldn't trust another man. They got out of a very abusive relationship, and God had to do the deliverance work in them so that they could be willing to open up their hearts again. So again, right now you might be single, but boo, let me tell you something. When you say yes and you start living your life, time will fly by so fast. And when you get to the point of enjoying who you are, that's when things going to change and shift. And if you have a desire for marriage, yo Adam gonna wake up and see you, and he not gonna leave you alone. You're not supposed to be chasing a man. Okay, let me stop. Pull back.
You turned into Mother Campbell's about to come on out. The evangelist.
Don't be out here chasing men.
Seriously.
No.
Absolutely.
Honey, you are too valuable for that. I don't know who I'm talking to right now, but you don't be out here chasing men, okay? And you don't have to make one chase you either. The right one will pursue you with consistent interest and not be out here playing with your emotions and your feelings. And he's going to see that you are a woman of purpose, a woman of destiny, and he's going to come correct. But if he ain't coming correct, leave him alone.
Right. And live your life. Keep walking.
And live your life. Yeah.
It was something through your testimony. You're so funny. If y'all didn't know, she's a comedian too. I forgot how funny she is. But through your testimony, you didn't stop in your broken places. Like every trauma, you didn't stop. But you literally, what I heard was you threw yourself into God even more. And told him, reminded him of his word, reminded him of his promises. And then the time when you didn't feel like throwing yourself into him, he sent your mother. He sent other angels or ministering to you to pick you up. Like, y'all, Jesus is the best thing ever. Like, he loves on you in all of those seasons, and because of your yes, you're walking in your purpose. And you've already went into the other questions. How are you going to help somebody who's feeling discouraged? What do they need to do to go through their purpose? Like, you already hit all those things. But I just think it's beautiful because that's what I kept hearing, is that there is no trauma, there is no difficult situation that you cannot rise above, that God has not
Mhm.
already ordained for it to happen, and a way for you to triumph. Because he has to let his glory be revealed through us.
Has
Like,
to.
he has to bring you out. He has to fulfill his promises concerning you. Otherwise, he will be a liar. So, I mean, I'm just glad you didn't give up. I want everybody to go get the book. Go get the book.
But I wanted to. I
I
wanted to. And because I don't want people to think like, oh, well, I have moments where I want to give up. So I feel bad because I'm not as strong as these two women. Honey, both of us have wanted to give up at some point in time. It's a part of the human process. Okay. And the thing is, even when you want to give up, that's when you're tested the most. That's when you find out. Now, let me tell you something. The relationship that I have with Christ is a little different, okay? Because I take after King David. King David was a little bit all over the place, okay? King David was like, oh God, I love you so much. Kill him. Why are you letting him succeed? He trying to come. I'm telling you, King David was that dude, okay? He was just like worship, warrior, stress, like that's me, okay? Call me Davida. I don't, whatever you want to call me.
wasn't it David too? You said David.
Call
Wasn't it
me
David?
Davida,
He
okay?
threw himself crazy too in the Philistine camp, so that they wouldn't
Tell you
kill
something.
him. He do what he had to do.
But yet he was the one. This is why I'm like, okay, I know the Lord has to love me because David was psycho. Yet he was the one that was called a man after God's own heart. Are you kidding me? That should be comforting to you right now for you to feel like, Lord, I'm going crazy. I know one moment it looks like I'm praising you. The next it looks like I'm complaining and crying. I want to give up. Let me tell you something. That is a part of the cycle of to your breakthrough. And the enemy wants you to think that you aren't strong enough spiritually because you have these back and forth times. This is not a James 1:8. This is not a double man is unstable in all his ways type of deal. This is a real life type of thing. You are human. You are made in, you are literally a human. You're going to feel like a winner sometimes, and the other times you're going to feel like a loser. And at that time, that's when your faith is really tested. So always turn to him and be honest. That's what I do. That's how I was able to continue on. Yeah. Okay.
You're good. This is so good. Oh my gosh. We just need a whole series with Dr. Cherry getting up after the trauma. Like, for real. Seriously, I want y'all to follow her on YouTube, on Instagram. I want you to tell people how they can contact you, the best way so they can reach out to you. But I think we might need to visit that because I think trauma gets us, it naturally gets us stuck and we're just
Yeah.
frozen, and we don't move. So,
Mhm.
okay, I just want to keep going because it's just so good. But y'all, okay, so let me pause.
Okay.
Tell the people how they can connect with you. Otherwise, we're going to keep going. But
So I am everywhere. I am everywhere at Dr. Charity TV. So it's DrCharity TV. You can also visit the website, drcharitytv.com, and you can connect as well there. I did just release a new book that I haven't actually told the public yet.
what?
It's called Prayers for My Future King. Yes, it is a devotional of 30 powerful prayers for you to pray
I
for
love
him.
it.
Mhm. Check it out.
Oh my God. Okay, prayers for my future king. Everybody who's connected to the roads I do need to get that book. You can't never pray too much, especially for your future king, because we don't want no Ishmaels or counterfeits standing saying I do and we should
See,
not be. I'm just saying. So,
see, see. Now you know we supposed to end this right now, and you had to say that.
the
No. Let me
Ishmael,
mute my microphone. Let me mute my microphone.
I'm sorry, but it's true. I know it's time for us to go, y'all. But as you can see, charity is such a beautiful jewel to the kingdom. You know, I love you. I'm so thankful that you said yes to just grace us with your presence on today. You all, please connect with her. Little look. Do you still have Cash App in the Philippines?
So Cash App doesn't work outside of the United States. I
Man,
found that out the hard way. However, though,
okay,
I do have PayPal. I
okay.
have PayPal.
Let's take it up. I'm gonna put it in here so we can make sure people be a blessing to you. What is your PayPal?
Yes. My PayPal is drcharitycampbell@gmail.com.
All right. I think I got it right here.
Okay.
Let me make sure. If I get it wrong, you all, we're gonna fix it. Where we go? Where we go? Okay, there it is. Yep. Okay.
Yes.
Awesome. You all be a
Excellent.
blessing to Dr. Campbell. Ooh, that sounds so good. And again, thank you for coming. You are such a jewel. Oh, thank you. See, you were helping me out, and I had already put it in there. God is so good. I hope y'all were blessed by her. I am. I have been blessed. Thank you. Thank you. Thank
My
you.
pleasure.
Um, you all know she's a prayer warrior. Connect with her. I'm telling you, she is a sister at heart who loves the kingdom, who loves people. Like she loves people. And I'm just excited about what God is doing in your life. So thank you so much for coming on this time. I'm just trying to figure out how I'm gonna get you back for something else. We got to do something else because you're a blessing. People need to hear your story.
Listen, bring me back for prayer because we used to have our prayers. I will never forget the time we were praying and praying in tongues, and literally our spirits were connected in that choir practice, from praying in tongues to you interpreting it. And I'm listen, bring me back for prayer. I'm up for prayer.
I'm
Okay.
serious. Okay. So we're gonna talk about that offline. I got to figure out what time is what in the Philippines so we can do it because it's morning. So yes, that is definitely gonna happen because that's an answer prayer. I've been praying about that specifically for ladies who are single right now and literally birthing and supporting. So I've been praying about who, and it's just amazing that you just said that. So okay, y'all, we're gonna keep going, but we're gonna say goodbye for now. Thank y'all so much for tuning in. Until next time, you all be a blessing and thrive in purpose.